Sir, I was able to perform a detailed scan of the Obsidian Star while everybody was distracted by, Pizza Day.
What did you find out?
That ship is no mere cargo vessel. She's a weapon of war, 16 million shield defense with 4 missile batteries and 40 autocannons.
How about the UCS High Command? Have we made contact yet?
No, sir.
It's very troubling. I'm afraid this Sqaudron base might not be a safe haven for much longer. Looks like we'll need to strike out on our own very soon. Good day, Sven the Slayer here once again, and welcome back to StarMade on the Star Squadron server. You probably noticed I'm really behind everybody else. I just got to the Pizza Day stuff. So I'm trying to catch up. I've been playing StarMade a lot more recently, trying to get stuff ready, mostly for server use and whatnot. Hopefully this video quality will be better. I didn't realize that my OBS was recording at a really low quality until it was already pretty much too late to do anything about it. So hopefully this one's much better. But for now the plan is to just start to get set up so I can go and leave this place and get some funny jumps probably from recording, but whatever. So I want to set up my own base, and so I can gather my own resources, because we have access to quite a bit of stuff, but I don't really want to have to use this and then replace it. So I want to be able to have my own stations with my own resources. So to do that, I actually need stations. And something like the last season's station isn't done and is huge. It would take me forever to get that resources, so I need jumping off points. Let's see if we have here. Oh, there's actually black advanced armor. That's how, yeah. Last time I looked, there was no black advanced armor in here. I guess I probably could have made some. I don't know how many. Hardeners. There's quite a bit of hardeners. So yeah, I have plenty of resources to get started, but yeah, so I probably could spawn in a mall right away, just off of normal resources, or off the station's resources, but I've been building a new ship, kind of a stepping stone between starting equipment and something like my mall. If I can remember what it's called. I think it was MP. I need to really clean up my blueprints here. Oh, what are you called? It's not in the well, some of it's in the UCC. So there's probably the last mall, but that's not what I want. I don't even know if I have the current there it is, MPV prototype. So MPV's a multi-purpose vehicle. Let's head down to the shipyard and see if I can build this. So I gotta go through a security door, which you can close from the outside. But you need to put in the password to open it up. Which I actually did show that off last episode. Sqaudron Station, Shipyard Room. That's where we want to go. Shipyard, oh, there it is. Looks like Jay says his ship loaded in there. That thing's pretty neat. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was that short from the thumbnail. It's a little stumpy thing, but it's a cool looking ship. Okay, so actually we want to go to catalog and find the MPV first of all. And actually probably be easier if I go out of cargo, then into catalog, buy the MPV, and then put that in here. Wait, is it trying to build it? It's trying to build it. So it says cancel current order, resource status. Yeah, so it's actually trying to build his ship. It's missing all the plants. So those would have to actually be either mined or bought. So I don't know where Jace is. Jace is not on the server. I'm just gonna have to cancel this so I can use the shipyard. And then we can place create design from blueprint item, MPV prototype, PV prototype. There we have my little multi-purpose vehicle. So this ship was purpose-built for multi-purpose. I'll show you more of that in a minute. So let's see if we can actually build this thing. It doesn't have any plants on board, so hopefully that should be fine. Construct current design, MPV-1, whatever, I don't care. I don't have a name for this ship yet. In the meantime, let's go into the catalog, upload a couple more. So I know where this is. We have cheap salvage pod. Upload that. And we want to upload the UC. Did I say it's UCS? Or did I save it as? If I saved it as UCC, I did that wrong. No, UCS SV 809A1 wedge. So upload those two. Is it building? What's going on here? What is missing? Teal crystal armor. Apparently there's no trigger areas, trigger area controllers, or Hattel crystals. So for that, Hattel crystals, I guess here, change production, Hattel crystal, turn it on once, make a bunch. Is it trigger area? Why do I have trigger areas? Did that really say trigger areas? I don't remember putting trigger areas on this thing. Oh, automatic gravity, that's right. Yeah, the airlocks are pasted components, so I'm change production, trigger area. Just make a bunch of those. Let's see, there was some kind of... Was it teal glass or blue glass? Resource status. Teal, crystal, and 2 controllers. You really need a sprint key or a jetpack or something. Let's see, 1,000, I don't need 1,000, 10, there we go. Change production for area controller, let's just make some spare of those. And then change production, teal crystal armor. Let's make a chunk of those. I guess we don't have the Bastion. Make some Bastion. Now we should get teal. There we go. 19. Good enough. Do we have a fully formed ship? Yes, we do. There's the MPV. I think for the other two things, I'm just going to spawn because it's going to be easier. All these public cargo pod, cheap salvage pod. Buy one of those. And we wanted the UCS wedge. Buy one of those. So now to get these guys in here, I guess I'm gonna actually have to put them into the storage box. There and there. Info. I don't think I can do it that way. Oh, I did do it. Oh, that's my gray hull that I just added. Okay, so we go to cargo. Now we can access this. Okay, that's good. Pull it. Save it there. Go add all these things are pretty cheap things, so they shouldn't really. Yep, there we go. It's that and that. Not sure why I'm picking that crap up. Switch off cargo and get my two things back. Okay, so let's head out to our new ship. Put on a helmet before spacewalking, so you know you don't die. Is there really no gravity block down here? It's kind of a little bit of a oversight, wouldn't you think? Oh, and I just took my helmet off. Now I'm dead. Wonderful. Why is there no gravity? There we go. Put the helmet back on, dummy. Thank you. So this ship was designed to interface with the normal cargo, or standardized cargo system, the 9x9x11, or 17 rather. And it's got my... No, I'm stuck in the door. Probably should extend that another half a second. Automatic gravity, and you see I have a nice little display in here now, and as you interact with the airlock, it'll actually change that display while it's cycling, and then once it's unlocked. So it's a very small cargo hold back here. It only holds 5.5K, but that just needs to be an intermediate between the salvage and the cargo container if you're carrying a lot of stuff, which I'm not intending to do right now. There's a very modest living area, table, stove, a couple beds, and then a bathroom back here, so it's for a crew of like 2. Why is that light turned off? Huh, it's interesting. Must have accidentally clicked it right before I saved the blueprint. Then up front here we have control room. You can see my display item isn't finished. I don't even know if 5073 is currently the correct numbers, but we have port and starboard controls. So protective cover closed, drone pickup mode is off, and module interface is none. Module power is disengaged. So now if we jump at our ship, oh, that's right. We've got shipyards. Undo all of this. Ship core scanners. So we have 2 jump drives, a primary and a secondary. Usually my secondary I put on 0, 0, so I can just tap 0 and 0. So that's like 0, 0. So if you're at 1, you hit 0, control 0, and you're at the should be. It wasn't for some reason. That's the backup drive. That's the theory behind that anyway. Just go back to 1. Weapons menu. Let's go to 2. So we have lots of, we have open port, eject port, port power, some other stuff, open pod doors, drone recovery, and then there's eject starboard, starboard power, and the that one, open starboard. There's a lot of inner ship remotes on this. And then let's go to 3 and just plop down the other items. It's auto close doors and the radar control. Those are things you don't really need to interact with that often. Let's go back to 1. So we have our scanner and our jump drive. This thing doesn't have a radar jammer, I don't think. I think that's an oversight. It probably should have a radar jammer and then 2 docks. So that's all for that. So now if we have here, we have the, we can open the port, open the starboard, and then there's a option to open both. And let's spawn in our other little guys. That's not a gravity unit. It's interesting. So spawn them in. So there's our little guy. Let's put him in number 2, which is starboard. So we can actually have a camera controls for this. I think we want to line up the camera with the core and fly into it. Should. Or do I have... Oh, drone recovery's turned off. Is that it? Pop out and look. It's on. So it should be able to... There it goes. Just wasn't close enough. And then that should automatically close the door too. So, feature turned on. Yeah, auto close doors is turned on. Why didn't you close the doors? Oh well. Minor detail. Let's close the door. So that's our salvage pod docked. So to work this, we have to go down to the maintenance area. At least until we get some better logic installed into the game, which allows you to directly interface with this stuff. So once you're down here, you can C on this little wireless module and V on that wireless module. And I guess go back the other way, just in case it has feedback. This particular one does not. There's actually a panel that closes and opens as something's docked, just to keep atmospheric pressure. See if I go down in this one, you can see that it is in fact closed. So I could dock another salvage pod if I wanted to, but I probably do want to in the long run. Or this is actually a short run ship. But now this button here should activate the logic controlled salvager. So you can see now that that has changed. Productive cover is closed, drogue pickup mode is on, module interface is active, and you can see that that power actually changes on the screen. You see that there's a module interface none. That just detects if something's docked or not. That's all done through a whole wire web of stuff. back here for each of the... I kind of do a hashtag and then replace them depending on if it's something's there or not. For the docked one anyway, that just changes depending on if that's on or off. Protective cover changes depending on if that's open or closed. Drone pickup mode changes depending on if that's on or off. So it just has a bunch of ands down in here that determines which and goes where, and then it just sets this, and I'd have to break it down to explain it better. So that turns our MPV into an actual salvage ship. And this should be, when this is off, this should be pulling. I didn't actually check to see if that was off. This should be off. This doesn't actually have like any cargo of its own, so it just relies on not salvaging so fast that you can't pull items every tick. And then the other guy I got is a pretty neat little thing. This is a drone, little fat drone. It's designed also to fit within the 9x9x17 cargo system. And so now if I go to the other camera here, open the port, and just keep going forward until it grabs. The drone will fold up, folds its wings. Why is it stuck? Oh. It's a little bit of server lag, it seems. That's interesting. Oh, there. That one actually worked. Huh, maybe this side's just broken. Huh, I guess that's something to look into. So now I have a drone. So I can go... what is it? K. Create new. UCS. Minor, whatever. Add member. MPV. Okay, add member. Docked ships. Oh wow, that's a lot of... CS. Wedge. This guy. Okay. Wait, why did it add that? Must have shift clicked or something. It remembers the pickup area too. The problem with this though is even though it knows what pickup area was used, when the drone flies in and attempts to dock, it always catches the rear docking point. And I do not know why that is. So the easy solution would be to remove the rear docking point. I believe it has one on the top too, maybe? Maybe not? No, none on the top. Okay. But the rear one is if I'm using actually a cargo loader, and this thing is cargo loader compatible, so this dock here is actually specifically for the cargo loader, and that's what I think this switches between the drone recovery option. Basically just turns this pickup point on and off. But now we have a very basic, very cheap mining ship to start off with, and I should be able to take this guy back and dock it with the station. I'm gonna have to move my jump ship. What's the mass thrust to mass ratio? 2.1 with both modules, or 2.0. So it's not horrible, not great, but I like it. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think maybe still needed to do a little bit of designing on the bottom. I guess that was finished more or less. Maybe add a little more gray, dark gray to there. But it's a nice little starter, cheap. I also plan on making some more salvage modules. This one's a fairly basic. It's straight salvage. There's no additional components, but it's always on. So once I turn that on, what's the port for the starboard? That's starboard. Once it's on, it's always on. I believe there's 4 computers in there to achieve that. So it's all waffle boarded and whatnot in there, so it's pretty nice. It's not the best salvager, not the worst for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shuffle some ships around so I can dock this thing. That's actually gonna be about it for today's episode. Just trying to get back into the flow of recording and whatnot, so it's taken me a little bit. Most of the time I'm playing StarMade, I'm working on assets like this. I'm currently working on the station that I want to spawn in first. But that's not finished yet, so I'm going to have to finish that, and we'll hopefully be able to actually spawn that in and show that off next episode. It's very basic. Hopefully it'll avoid the problem I had last season, where I just got to a point where I just didn't know what to do with my station. I just had no idea where to go with it creatively. It was just completely stalled, so... thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.